You know, I've used a lot of different apps and programs and things like that in my quest to learn Japanese, and in doing this, in the years that I've been trying to do this, I've noticed that they all have one problem in common. Me. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today I just wanted to do a very short video on something that I've come to realize in the last couple of days. So what I've come to realize, and I came to realize this, like I said, over the past 2 days, is that there's been one common flaw with each of the programs and apps and different things that I've tried to use. Regardless of any of their other pros or cons, their successes or failings or anything like that, there was always one problem in common, and that was me. And, you know, it was always, there would be different times where I would find myself losing interest in learning Japanese, or just being disappointed, losing interest because I was disappointed in the lack of progress that I seemed to be making, that I thought I should be further along, you know, all sorts of different things, but it always came down to me. And there was one thing that I realized in the last couple of days, and that was that the way that I was studying was not doing me any good. And not the programs that I was using, just the way that I was using them. So, for those of you who are familiar with this type of program, so NativShark has an SRS function, a spaced repetition system function. And when it shows you a card, there's a similar one to this in Anki and or Anki, or whatever you want to call it. And I think Fluent Forever, the Fluent Forever app, has a similar one. And there's a smattering of others as well that use this same function. So when you use something like Duolingo or Memrise, when it asks you a question, like maybe you're studying kanji with it, it'll pop up a kanji, and then below it'll have multiple choice. It'll say, does this kanji mean dog, cat, person, or tree, you know, or something like that. And you know, if you select cat, but it's the kanji for dog, then it just goes budung, and you get it wrong, and then it moves on, but it counts it as wrong. Now with NativShark and programs like that, like Anki and I think Fluent Forever, instead of giving you the multiple choice like that, what happens is it shows you a kanji, and it essentially is just asking, do you remember this? Do you know what this means? Do you know what this kanji represents? Or like a sentence, a vocabulary, like a whole sentence or a vocabulary word. Do you know what this word is? Do you know what this word means? Do you know the translation of this sentence? Like anything like that. And then, in the case of NativShark, you hit the little button that says Show Answer. And then it essentially more or less flips over the card so you can see the answer. And it'll show you the reading. It'll show you the reading for the kanji that are in the sentence, or it'll show you what the kanji means and things like that. And then down at the bottom, you have a set of buttons. And these buttons, generally there's 3 of them. NativShark started out with 4, and they kind of streamlined everything, and they actually went down to 3. And this essentially is, I got it, it was difficult, or I forgot. Those are essentially the 3 choices that you have. Essentially what I had noticed that I was doing, especially if it came down to a point where I knew that my SRS and my daily tasks in the program, in the NativShark program, were going to reset. You know, say if I have my time reset for 7 a.m. now. So right when I get off work. I get off work at 7 a.m. So at 7 a.m. it resets. And come, you know, if I'm like on a day off, say, if, you know, come 6:15, if I open my my phone, or I suddenly realize, oh crap, I haven't done my my reviews or my lessons, I need to sit down and do that. Then I go in, open up the program, or I go to the website, and it says, oh, you have 155 review cards to do today. And most of the time that usually ends up in me sitting there going, oh crap, I am not going to be able to do 155 cards in 45 minutes. And so what generally happens then, was happening, I've now stopped doing this, is that even if I like completely forgot the sentence, I didn't remember the reading, I didn't remember the translation, I didn't, you know, any part of it, or if I forgot the kanji, I completely forgot the kanji, I didn't have any idea what it meant, I was still marking them. It would, flip over to the other side, and my response would be, oh yeah, I do remember that. And so I would mark it as difficult instead of forgot, because if you hit forgot, it's going to show it to you again in a little bit. And I was like, I can't afford to have 155 flashcards turn into, 200 because I forget 45 of these cards. And so I just essentially was cycling through them, being like, all right, yep, I'm good, I got that, yep, I'm good. And that's what I was doing. And what I noticed is that I was doing that with a lot of the programs that I was using before. And there were other reasons that I didn't like some of the other programs that I was using before, but that's what I was doing. And I've, in the last couple of days, come to realize that that's part of the thing that's one of the things that's stalling my progress right now. I had started to feel in the last couple of weeks like my progress had stalled, and I really wasn't getting anywhere. I really didn't feel like I was truly learning anything new, and I just didn't feel like anything was sticking. And then over the last couple of days, I started to make sure I was like, no, I need to be honest with myself. And I need to be willing to say, nope, I completely forgot that, hit forgotten, okay. And then when that kanji or that word or sentence comes back up, and it shows it to me again, I then need to be honest with myself again and say, I still don't remember this. Because then it gives you two options. It gives you a, okay, I got it that time, or nope, I still forgot it. And then it will put it into a list of words that are going to show up sooner. Maybe the next day or in 2 days, as opposed to like 5 days or something like that. And so I've gotten to the point now where I am making myself say, nope, I completely forgot. And then when it comes up again, I'm making myself say, nope, I still forgot that. I still don't know what it means. And so it's showing it to me more often, which is also making my reviews longer, but you take the good with the bad. But I feel like that's actually starting to have an effect. And so I just wanted to make this video telling everybody, if you're using programs like that, or any program really, your Duolingos, your Memrise, whatever, yes, you get instant feedback with like your Duolingos and stuff, but if you ever come to it, like, just be honest with yourself. Be honest enough to say, nope, I completely forgot that, because it's okay. Like, that's the thing for me. I'd gotten to the point where I was thinking that like it wasn't okay for me to not remember this kanji, or to not remember this sentence or this phrase or something like that. It just, I don't know what it was. I felt like, maybe it's because I felt like I should be further along, but I had gotten to the point where I was just, yeah, that's exactly what I was doing. And I felt like I should be remembering all of it. And so over the last couple of days, I've been more honest with myself, and I've said, no, I need to say that I forgot. And it has started to have an effect. A lot of those cards are starting to show up more often, and I'm more apt to remember those now. There's a lot of kanji that now pop up, and I say, oh yeah, that's this, because it's been showing it to me a few more times. And so it's starting to actually solidify in my head. So we're getting somewhere, at least. So anyway, like I said, I wanted to keep this video really short. I just kind of wanted to share my revelation with you guys. Anyway, thank you all for joining me today, and I hope that I will see you all again next week. But for now, let's get on out there and immerse.